familiar friend is back on the Baltimore Ravens. EDC talks draft strategy. That and so much more in this edition of the Purple Rain podcast. We're here. There we go. Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 402 on this Friday Eve edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Stay with me here. The Anthony Wright, Tyler Huntley, Jimmy Clausen, Tyrod Taylor, and most recently Nate
Talk to
Wiggins
him.
edition
Nate.
of the Purple Rain podcast. We
Yes,
have a lot
sir.
to talk about. 1 week removed from the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft, and we have a new but old Raven on the team, which we'll get into. And EDC did a very interesting presser with the Lounge podcast. But first off, you know where to follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yes, if you are not subscribed yet and you want to kind of sound off in the chat, let us know how you're feeling about the signing of Calais Campbell. Let us know, subscribe, and your name will pop up on the screen. But yes, Sutton, it is Friday Eve. How are we feeling?
Feeling good, man. Like we always mention, never a dull day with our Baltimore Ravens, and today was no different. I was just kind of going through the motions earlier, and I got this notification to my phone that the Ravens were getting a very familiar face back, and that kind of turned my day from just kind of like I didn't really know how I felt about today to, no, I'm actually feeling good about today. So, needless to say, Alex, again, I'm feeling good. I hope the Rain Gang is feeling good. If you are, please leave a like, leave a thumbs up on this video here, episode 402 of PRP. We want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out. If you're part of the live chat tonight, shout out to you. Make sure you sound off in the live chat. Let us know you're here. You know we love you guys. You know we love you guys. Let us know you're here so we can shout you out. And then also, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, which means you're watching the replay of this live stream, maybe you are getting ready to go to bed, maybe you're getting ready for work in the morning, maybe you're commuting to work, maybe you're on your lunch break, whenever, wherever. Thank you for listening as well. Make sure you leave a comment down below with any comments, questions, concerns, whatever you got on this episode here. And again, subscribe if you are new to the channel. But again, shout out to everybody who's come through. We got Nero in the chat here. What's going on, Nero? Khalil is in the chat. What up? What up? We got a member. Tila is in the chat. What up, Tila?
Yo.
Chris, we got another member in the chat. Says, hey, y'all, what's going on, Chris? Appreciate you for coming through tonight on this episode of the show. PRP telling y'all to like the video. Like the video, y'all. We also got Lisa. Lisa's in the chat as well. Hope everything is good with you, Lisa. She says, hey, Alex and Sutton, I'm happy that Calais is back and he can help these baby Ravens. Yeah, we're going to get into that here in just a second. We got Mej Jr. 33 says, what's good, PRP? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you for coming through. We got Ashley, another member in the chat. What up, Ashley? Good evening to you as well. We got Pretty Boy Suave 8565 in the chat. I see you. And I agree with you. I see you in the chat. I agree with you too. I agree with you. Cameron is in the chat. PRP, hashtag replay gang. Shout out to you as well. All right, everybody who's part of the replay gang, listen up, because here's where it starts. Alex, we got some very important news to get to. Earlier today, like I said, I was scrolling my phone, kind of doom scrolling, right, Alex? And I saw this notification come through from Adam Schefter. And I don't know how you have yours set up on your phone, your notifications, Alex, but like for me, whenever an ESPN notification, like whenever like they give me like a push notification, like it comes directly to my phone, it's always about the Ravens and it's always breaking news. So like I saw it pop up and I was like, well, what could have possibly happened? I mean, like draft just took place a couple days ago. I mean, like, did we sign a center? Like what did we sign? Did we extend Lamar? I didn't know what happened, but I saw that the Ravens actually went ahead and they signed Calais Campbell. They are bringing back Calais Campbell on a 1-year deal. This is on the Baltimore Ravens website here. I'm gonna just read this quick little paragraph, and then Alex, I want you to give your reaction on what you think about Calais Campbell coming back to Baltimore and what that does for this new Ravens team. It says here, though, Calais Campbell is coming back to Baltimore for another ride. Per Adam Schefter, he will sign a 1-year deal with the Ravens. The deal is expected to be in the $5.5 million range, and that is per Jeff Zrebiec. Calais was a beloved Raven, from 2020 to 2022, and would help bolster a defensive front that was looking for another immediate impact player after the trade for Max Crosby fell through, and with Nnamdi Madubuike's future still somewhat uncertain. CC will turn 40 on September 1st. That's very important, guys. I mean, Calais Campbell's about to be 40 in a couple of months here. Before what will be his 19th NFL season, the oldest defensive lineman in the league has been taking it year to year on whether he wants to keep playing or retire. The issue is he keeps being productive. Now, listen up. Last year, Calais Campbell had 6.5 sacks for the Arizona Cardinals. Let me read that again. Calais Campbell had 6.5 sacks last year. And guess what? For those of you guys who don't know, 6.5 sacks would have done it for the sack leader on the Baltimore Ravens last year. He would have led all Ravens in 2025 in sacks. And he's coming back for another year. And oh yeah, by the way, he's already familiar with the franchise. Alex, you take it away. Did you like, love, or hate this move? Let me know.
I like it. I'm not at the love it phase.
You don't love it?
I don't. I still want more. I do still want more.
What more could you ask for?
DJ Reader. I don't know. I'm worried about Nnamdi Madubuike. He won't be back until November, I think. I gotta take off like the purple glass real quick. It's a very good signing, but I'm kind of worried. I feel like we signed him more for leadership purposes, which is kind of worrying because I feel like we have enough veteran players on this defense. We'd have a leader, but I feel like maybe this is the final piece we needed is to have that kind of vocal guy. Because hey, number 0 ain't doing it. I'll tell you that right now. We've been talking about him. He is not a leader by example. He's a leader just by yapping. But 6.5 sacks is huge. I did pull up his his stats from last year. He had 4 sacks in 2 of those games. He had 2 sacks in 2 separate games. I kind of like got to slow my roll, but he'll be better than what we had. I think he'll be immense as well on special teams. You know, he has a blocked field goal on him at least once or twice a year, which will be huge. I'm more so like close to love it, but it's a very good signing. But he will play probably less than half the snap, so definitely wouldn't hate a guy like Reader coming in. Like I said, just because I'm worried about Madubuike, but it's a really good signing for sure.
And I got to disagree with you on the like it. I love it for multiple reasons. It's because he's coming back to Baltimore to do multiple things. You mentioned the leadership aspect of it. Think about this, Alex. I mean, as it stands right now, or you know what? Scratch that. As it stood yesterday, right? Before this Calais Campbell news broke, right? Who would you have expected if the season started already to be breaking down huddles before the game? Would it still be Roquan Smith? Is that fair to say, Alex?
It's going to be, unfortunately. It's going to be.
I don't think so. I think that Calais Campbell comes back in this locker room and takes the reins. Maybe not every week, but on certain weeks, because we've seen it before. I mean, this guy, again, he is well respected in that locker room. A lot of those guys there have already played with him before, right? And then like the young guys who are just coming in, who, you know, they just drafted or maybe they just acquired, they're going to automatically, I think they're going to, I guess you can say, like, kind of be open to his leadership, Calais Campbell, even at his big age of 39 years old. And I know that's not that old. We got some people watching who are a lot older than that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of football terms, he's really old. And I think that because of that, you know, and because of his leadership style, they're gonna kind of be open to his leadership. So I think that he does that. And then also, I think that when you have these 3-4 fronts, right, with 3 down defensive linemen, if you have Nnamdi Madubuike at 3 tech and Travis Jones, and then you have Calais Campbell playing that nose tackle position in the middle, and that's what's pushing the pocket back. And then, oh, by the way, you have Trey Hendrickson on one side, and then either take your pick, Zion Young or Mike Green on the other. I just don't see where we need, and this is where I disagree with you. I just don't see where we would necessarily need a DJ Reader at this point, I just don't see that, especially considering we brought back John Jenkins as well. So I think that there's a decent amount of depth there. You know what I mean? What do you say to that?
John Jenkins just doesn't get it done for me. I'll be honest with you. I think I'd take DJ Reader over John Jenkins. That's just kind of where I'm at. It was like kind of all cute and oh, John Jenkins got his second contract with the team. I hate he's a journey guy for a reason. I feel like DJ Reader will come in and give us a little bit more than John Jenkins, but I'm also kind of intrigued to see what the rotation will be. Like I said, Calais Campbell won't play more than 50% of snaps. Not sure, where they're going to put him in. Maybe first down. Not sure, maybe it depends on matchups. He was great against the run. Think about it. We got Calais Campbell in 2020 for the sole purpose of stopping Derrick Henry. And I'm looking at our division at some of the running backs. I'm like, okay, Quinshon Judkins, he's coming back from that I word. The Bengals, I mean, Chase Brown isn't that big of a bruiser. I think we can stop him. And the Steelers are just the Steelers at this point. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing, what the play is going to be. But it's a really good signing. It's just like I'm not jumping out my seat. I mean, I'm thinking he'll probably get like four sacks, hopefully. But Calais came. He's ring chasing right now, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I'm hoping to see if he can bring that juice back. We'll see. Your mic's muted.
Might be. Real quick, super chat donation from Mad Ross. Appreciate you, Mad Ross, for dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Says, yeah, DJ Reader is the move. Do not care about Calais signing. Are y'all crazy? Respectfully. Are y'all crazy? I mean, Alex, listen, I get your point. Your point is taken. But Calais Campbell, while no, he's not going to be a 3-down lineman, right? But he's an impact player. I mean, you said it yourself. What do you get with Calais Campbell? You get a guy who can be a very, very solid rotational piece who can rip through the line of scrimmage and get to the quarterback. That's one. Number two, if he doesn't rip through the line of scrimmage and get to the quarterback, he's 6'8" and can bat down balls. We've seen that before in Baltimore as well. Like you mentioned, he's a good special teams player. We all remember that Colts game. Where he blocked, I think it was 2 back-to-back plays he had in that game leading up to that block field goal and essentially won us the game. So this is a guy, I mean, he's got the energy, man. I think he's still got juice left in the tank. And I saw somebody tweet earlier, I think it might have been Jonas Schaefer. Shout out to Jonas Schaefer. But he made a good point. He was saying how, a lot of times when guys get older, guys who depend on like athleticism and stuff like that, their careers go by the wayside a little bit faster than guys who actually have just like massive size. You know what I mean? Like that massive size just doesn't go away. You know what I mean? And you can still use that to your advantage. And Calais Campbell does a great job at that, I think, at his age. So I love this signing, man. And of course, getting him in a Jesse Minter defense. Think about it, man. I mean, Jesse Minter, he was working with some pretty good pieces last year in LA, but it compares nothing. It's nothing compared to what he's going to be working with this year in Baltimore. Because again, you've got multiple All Pros, you got multiple Pro Bowlers. You just added another one. Like it's just, man, I love this. I can't say enough about it, man. I love it. And I don't understand you, Mad Ross. I mean, DJ's the move. I mean, sure, maybe we could still get DJ, but I'd rather go and get Jadeveon Clowney at this point as opposed to DJ Reader.
I still think you probably do need another edge rusher, I'd say, because you can't put your eggs in an Adisa Isaac basket. You don't know what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably go with Trey, Mike Green, Tavius, Zion Young, and then who's your last guy left there? That's kind of where I'm at. I just don't think it's going to be Isaac. So I think that's where Clowney comes in and could really give you an impact. Especially like juice-wise in the fourth that we talked about. I think I'd be over the moon if we were to get him there. And he wants to come back too.
Yeah, he does. Or, there's also the, I've heard a lot about the edge out of Texas, the UDFA. I can't remember his name. I think you told me about him.
Yeah. Ethan something. He low-key gives me like Brent Urban vibes. Not just because he's white, because like he gets his arms up there and bats down balls, can definitely get to the quarterback and helps out in the run game. But his UDFA, I just can't put too much stock into him. But
that's fair.
Those Ravens, they love taking a guy from UDFA and making him on the roster.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more.
Real quick, I just, talking about Calais Campbell's leadership and his leadership style. I want to show you guys a video clip really quick. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Last time Calais Campbell was a Raven, this was a little cut up of him kind of leading the troops in battle.
Game. We're a great team, and we're gonna win and lose together. And today, we won the game. Make your mind up. It's a decision. For the man next to you, sacrifice, pay the price. One play at a time. Yes, 1-on-3. 1, 2, 3. Time boom. Sack fumble. Oh man. Yeah, I saw PQ come from the ball, but I didn't want to risk. I said, man, get hey.
I didn't even know he
let's push the ball. That was beautiful. What you do to beat him? What you do to beat him?
I just went like a little heavy, and then I had like a quick bull and get in because you gave me the inside was open because that guard is sitting there.
That's his whole family too.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's your problem? No side, your elbow?
So yeah, I mean, just a little snippet there of the last time Calais Campbell was in Baltimore. I think he's a great leader. And the fact that, like, not only can he lead his troops into battle, like you saw at the beginning of that clip, but I think it's also important for him, you know, when younger players make plays, he comes up to them and says, like, hey, like, what did you do? Like, it's important, like, psychologically for these younger guys to be kind of validated in that way. And this, I've been talking to, like, you know, a psychologist a lot lately. I don't know why. But like, I think that stuff matters. That stuff matters. And Calais Campbell is a force multiplier in that way.
Yeah, big time. And like you said, the way he was talking, I listened to what he said in the first clip, and I thought of, well, what do I have now? I have from the first snap to the last snap. That's all I hear from Roquan. It's just the same cookie cutter bullshit. So it'd be nice to have that, but I feel like if you don't really should need a pep talk going into a game. But he'll bring, I think, he'll bring a lot on the field, but he'll bring just as much, I say, off the field. You know, but even just going through mini camp, training camp, teaching these younger guys like a Mike Green and hopefully like a Zion Young, just tools of the trade. And I think that's right there. You really can't put a price on that. I hope that can just translate to these guys' games, hopefully in the future. But it's still kind of a waiting game, but glad to have him back on the roster. I hope he takes 93. I don't think 93 is taken right now. If it is, you got to give it up. I think you probably give it up.
Yeah. We taking that chain. We taking that chain for Calais Campbell, man. Again, man, I can't say enough about him being back and what that means for this defense. I think like the biggest thing that not a lot of people right now are talking about, but like, again, it's just the batted balls, man. It's the batted passes. Like up at the line of scrimmage, 6'8", clogging the traffic, like clogging the airways for a quarterback. And you've got Trey Hendrickson screaming off of the edge. And then Mike Green is working one-on-one with your weaker tackle. You know what I mean? And then Kyle Hamilton was already mugged up at the line of scrimmage before, you know, pre-snap. You don't know what he's doing. I mean, I just think that there's just so many instruments of chaos, so many tools of torture on this defense, so to say, that Jesse Minter just has at his disposal right now. And like, I think that this move here, Calais Campbell, I mean, and people may say I'm being hyperbolic, I'm overreacting. Fine, call it what you want. But I think that this move, the Ravens acquiring Calais Campbell, moves the needle, like Super Bowl needle, for them a little bit closer, a lot closer than people are really giving it credit for. I do think that.
I mean, I don't know how much of a needle move we're talking about. Like, give it a percentage.
I mean, I'm thinking like, hell, I mean, listen, man, I'm feeling like 80% positive that this defense can be the number one defense in the NFL this year. I'll say that. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of good defenses in the NFL. Of course, the Browns are good defense. The Texans are a damn good defense. But I just, putting it all together, Jesse Minter, I've seen him do more with less. Now he gets to do more with more. You know what I mean? And I love that prospect. I can't doubt it. I can't doubt it. So that's where I'm at with it.
I hate, like, we have to kind of just chill right now in April because I'm thinking of, you know, things that have hurt our season in years prior. I don't want to bring them up. So I'm just kind of trying to keep my cool right now, but just got to get through mini camp, training camp, preseason. But I think preseason will be interesting too. We keep on bringing that up. Like, who's going to be playing? I think offensively and defensively, we now have a quarterback 3 battle, I think is fair to say. And defensively, you know, just seeing the younger guys. Does a Mike Green play in preseason? I mean, I don't think he's really a guaranteed starter. You want to believe he is, and then obviously Zion Young will be playing. Will Tavius be playing? We got to throw guys out there in the edge position. So come August, we'll be talking about all those storylines. But this right here, yeah, it definitely shores up a big piece we're missing, and now it's kind of just we still have cap space to move around, and obviously we say center that we need. Wouldn't hate another edge rusher. So, what other tricks does Mr. Eric DeCosta have up his sleeve?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, and that's actually a perfect segue, Alex, because Mr. Eric DeCosta actually did it was an interview. It was an interview with the Ravens Lounge podcast, right? And I want to bring this up because I found it I was intrigued by a lot of his responses to who was it, Garrett Downing and Ryan Mink. I was to their questions, mainly the premium position and like the whole positional value discussion. That was kind of like what really opened my eyes to what the current landscape of the NFL is. And I'll let you guys see this here in a second, just as I pull it up. Let's see. Let's pull this up here. Okay, boom. So you can see here, this was tweeted by Ari Myrov, but of course recorded from the Lounge podcast via the Ravens. Says GM Eric DeCosta said the team's top two centers, Logan Jones, who is on the Bears now, and Jake Slaughter, who is a Charger, they wanted those two guys. And for everybody asking about, center, why didn't they take center? They wanted those two guys, but they did not get them at the time that they were, picking. So, and they didn't expect both to go in round 2. So yeah, they went early. This is good context on why the Ravens didn't draft a center despite it being a major need. And that was just one thing. We don't really have to listen to Eric DeCosta talk about that. But another one I wanted to show you guys, where is it? Right here. Yeah. So positional value in taking a guard. This is what he says on that.
Kind of going by the wayside.
Yeah, I think the discussion is now like offensive line are really valuable.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen the guard market trying to catch up to the tackle market. You've seen the center market this year finally make a big jump. Teams are paying money for guards. I think.
We got to put it on pause. No, we didn't lose. We got a super chat donation. We gained a super chat donation here. This one's coming from Always Blessed 410. Appreciate you, Always Blessed, dropping the 10 piece in the chat. Always Blessed says, I'm not really sold on the signing. Is he the best free agent at his position? On a side note, this was a discussion at work. Who wins in a fight, RoboCop or the first Terminator? I say RoboCop. In terms of that second question, I would probably go Terminator. I'm going Terminator. Terminator is just like, especially, it depends on which one. If we're talking about, I think from the second one, I'm definitely going Terminator. Like the all silver one, I'm definitely going that one. But what do you think, Alex?
I've seen neither.
You've seen neither?
I've seen neither. I really can't talk on this. I've seen neither.
I don't know you're going to say that.
I'm the worst person to ask about any movie. I probably have not seen it.
Yeah. And then best free agent at his position? I mean, you don't think so, right?
I think for the scheme fit and for cultural fit, I think it was one of the best. Like I said, I think I hate to say with all the money we have on this defense, we don't really have a leader. I don't know how much that really matters, but I feel like in the grand scheme of things, with having younger guys in that position, you do need them. And like I said, I just don't trust Roquan. I think it's gotten stale. I think his message has gotten stale, much like how John Harbaugh's message got stale. Sometimes you got to switch things up. And I think having Calais is back in, I think, when he was there in 2022, we went into Cincinnati and damn near won a playoff game with Tyler Huntley at quarterback because the defense was keeping them at bay. They were. Yeah. They held them to, I think, 17 points. They got a touchdown off of a fumble from the offense. That's a pretty damn good job. It was his defense. The last time we won in Pittsburgh, Calais Campbell was the leader of this defense. Fourth quarter renegade going on the sideline, waving his flag. Stuff like that, you really can't put a price on. I feel like that's why they brought him back. Don't want to be a nostalgia merchant, but I think he'll do good with this defense. And with his young, fresh blood, they maybe need an OG like him in that locker room. So I think culture-wise and scheme fit, I think it was probably one of the better signings we can make. Obviously, I want other guys, but it's a step forward.
Yeah. And honestly, I think you need kind of like those those tiers of veteran leadership. Because think about it like this: like a guy like Zion Young, the Ravens' second round pick, edge out of Missouri. He's a super rah energy. He's gonna bring his own energy type of guy, right, Alex? He's gonna come into the locker room and he's gonna be faced with a Roquan Smith on that defense who is going to be like his OG, right? You know what I mean? But then you also have another tier to that. You have Calais Campbell, the 6'8", like oak tree walking around, who you also are going to be looking up to as well. I mean, am I right? That's basically what he's going to be, walking around the castle with all these young dudes. But so it's just like, I think that it does work really, really well in terms of like the structure of this defense. And again, it's another, a psychological thing. I've been really big on the psychology lately. It's just what I do here. Excuse me on it. But I think it works wonders for the mental of the team. I do.
Now, would Calais remove the video games and the ping pong table at the locker room last year? Probably. Young folks, get that out of here. I can just hear him in his voice right now, just saying to get it out. But
yeah.
What a time.
Maybe, I don't know though. I feel like Calais is chill. I feel like he's chill like until it's time to like, go to battle. Like, yeah, be serious. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I obviously I don't know. I'm not in the castle with these dudes, but I feel like he gives me like the type of guy who, in the lunchroom or in the common areas, wherever the team's just kind of hanging out. He's not like on 10 and like, oh, I'm not with the video games and the playing around. And he seems like a good guy, but when it's on that field though, he's different. And those are the best type of guys, the guys who can kind of like flip that switch, but yeah, because in interviews and stuff like that, he's normally just like this jolly guy. So I don't know. Who knows? But always blessed. Appreciate you for the super chat donation. Thank you so much for donating to the PRP, the Purple Rain podcast. Now let's go ahead and finish out this video. And somebody put in the chat here, Chef says, I met Calais, real chill dude. Yeah, that's what he gives me. That's what he gives me for sure. But let's finish listening to Eric DaCosta on positional value. Because again, everybody was talking like, oh, interior O-line, you can't take a guard in the top 15. Who does that? You can't take a center in the top 15. Like, those guys they're non-premium positions. But Eric DaCosta thinks on the contrary now.
Going by the wayside?
Yeah, I think the discussion is now like offensive line are really valuable.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen the guard market trying to catch up to the tackle market. You've seen the center market this year finally make a big jump. Teams are paying money for guards. I think there's a scarcity of really good offensive linemen, so that drives the market up. Especially I think if they can pass protect. If they're really good pass protectors, I think then that argument probably gets thrown out because it's a passing league, and most of the premium positions have kind of a symbiosis with the passing game. And so if you get a guy like Vanga, for instance, who's a stone-cold assassin in pass pro, then that probably increases his value a little bit, I think. I do believe, looking at how things have transpired over the last few years, that the old argument that tackles were way more important than guards and guards were way more important than centers has kind of morphed into, you know what, they're all pretty important. Mm-hmm. And we got to be as strong as we can up front or we have no chance.
Right.
So for us, it made a lot of sense to do.
Yeah, so you heard it there. That is Eric DaCosta talking about positional value and how he feels differently now and how I guess the market is changing. Alex, what do you take from that?
Subway. Subway. After what
you say
I
it
saw
all the time.
If what I saw trotted out last year and hearing this, you think this guy did not build that line. Because what we saw out there last year was a joke, an absolute joke. And you hear him say about position of value in guards. And I mean, granted, he signed John Simpson into a 3-year, $30 million, so that means something. He drafted a guard first round. But if I'm looking at what you've done prior, you've been taking guards later in the draft. You've been signing guys to 1-year cheap deals. Last year, you could have gotten a proven guy, to maybe challenge with these younger guys you have. But instead, I hear this. I don't know. I mean, I hope it was a Harbaugh thing because we obviously know this whole Falele thing. So maybe that was really his guy. I feel like Emory Jones could have made an impact, should have made an impact, but we'll see this year. But this year he's kind of started off on the right foot. Obviously signing Simpson, drafting, at first round a guard. I'm cool with that. But now we still have question marks at center. Speaking of interior line, there you go. Like you say, it's the guy who touches the ball every play. Where's that at? Are we going to roll it there with a UDFA guy or a 7th round guy or a guy who's played in 8 snaps, I think, in his whole career? Putting that much belief in Dwayne Ledford. Now, I hope this guy's the O-line guru. But right now, I do not want to go into the season with what we have at center. I hope these guys are good, but that's just me. We've seen what happens when we have an undrafted guy at center. A guy, when we get to big games, the crowd's loud. We're in a shotgun, ball over the head. Or a ball on the ground, and there goes Lamar being hero ball. And usually it works out in our favor, but sometimes it doesn't. So EDC, just practice what you preach, and I would love a little bit more investment on that O-line. Just a hint more. But he's close. He's close, but he's not all the way there. And not to be, that negative or nitpicky guy, but we all knew what we saw last year. Now, I don't want to go through that ever again and see our quarterback hurt. Just please no.
Yeah, we've definitely seen our offensive linemen in some big spots piss down their leg multiple times. And, last year, for the offensive line to be that bad, and then for Eric DeCosta to turn around and say the type of things that he just said, like we just listened to together, it made me think about one thing. I really wish that NFL GMs developed as fast as NFL quarterbacks or just as NFL players, right? Because how in the world do you not know? And again, he's talking about, interior O-line is more important. Is it more of a premium position because there's just, it's scarce right now. It's like, no, it's not about necessarily supply and demand. It's more so about it being the literal cornerstone of your offense, the main pillar. Without it, nothing else works. Nothing else works, period. It's not about, there's normally a lot more guards and centers in the draft available. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about how this game is played. So since the beginning of time, everybody should have been valuing, at least in my personal opinion, interior O-line over anything. Because nothing else can happen without it. You can't put the cart before the horse. I say it all the time. I've been saying it for the past couple of months. So it's just it's ironic to me that Eric DeCosta gets up here and says this here and now. Listen, guys, we got 150 people watching live right now. This episode 402 of the Purple Rain podcast. Shout out to you guys. Please be sure to leave a like on this video. Yeah, that's right. A thumbs up on this video goes a very, very long way. Also, if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. We do go live on Mondays and Thursdays with this main pod. But then throughout the week, we also have Quiet Storm Sports, where your boy gets up here with other guests and things like that. And we also talk Ravens and other sports as well. And welcome in. If this is your first time listening, again, it's the Purple Rain podcast. There was something else, Alex, that Eric DeCosta had brought up. I think it was about, the wide receivers. Very interesting stuff. You really got to listen, and kind of, I guess you can say, listen or read between the lines and what he's saying here. Because I've kind of been a big proponent recently of the current wide receiver room. Like, I was thinking, as long as you get the O-line, kind of goes back to what I was just saying. As long as you get the O-line straight, I'm good with Zay Flowers. I'm good with Rashad Bateman. I'm good with Mark Andrews. You can draft whoever, bring them in, whatever.
Pause that. Take that clip. He's good with Zay Flowers. For all the Zay haters.
There you go.
There you go. You got it. All right?
There you go.
Sorry,
I don't hate Zay Flowers. Newsflash, I do not hate Zay Flowers.
Contrary to popular belief.
Exactly. Now, I want to get to what Eric DeCosta thinks about the wide receiver room in general. Let's take a look here.
Well, I think Lamar's always liked the idea of a bigger receiver outside, jump ball catcher. We had that last year a little bit with D-Hop. We made the decision this year to try to find a young guy, or a couple of young guys. And I think with both guys, really, Jacoby and Surratt, Eli, catching radius, contested catches, physicality when covered, ability to make contested grabs. I think we've seen that a little bit here over the years. We've had some guys. I mean, obviously the best probably Anquan, but that's a unique skill and something that will create, I think, more value overall to our offense, especially on the outside. So we've tried the last couple of years to find that type of X type of guy or that bigger body type physicality outside, unsuccessfully. And I think this year was a priority for us. And we had guys, all throughout the draft in different spots that we thought could fill that need. It broke this year that we were able to get 2 of those type of guys. But having been out to practice the last couple of weeks, it was apparent that our depth probably wasn't as good as it could be. And so to take 2 of those guys, I think it puts us in a nice position to have multiple targets for Lamar to look at.
Okay. So you heard there. So Eric DaCosta did not think, he was at practice just a couple weeks ago and he was looking around and he was like, I'm not really liking how this room looks right now. Right? Like, I think we need to go back-to-back wide receivers with our first 4 picks. Alex, what do you take from that?
Yeah, I pulled the depth chart right now. I think it was Zay, Bateman, Tez, and Dayton Wade, I think, were our only receivers.
And Guillory.
4. Yeah, Guillory, there you go. There's one. Cornelius Johnson, Ravens legend. How can I forget about that? Yeah, you think we needed some depth, and him bringing up the whole big body receiver. Yeah, we've kind of been crying out for one since 2018. His rookie year, and so on and so forth. Even guys that became available, and he brings up D-Hop, underutilized last year. When the ball was thrown his way, he was coming down with it. He had multiple crazy catches, one-handed catches, contested catches, and we still just did not use them correctly, I want to say. But, we've drafted these guys before. I don't want to, once again, be that negative guy. What has come out of it, of drafting these big guys? Not a lot. I think for me, the jury's still out with Tez Walker. We've seen what he can do. But at the same time, it's like he's not getting the volume that we would like him to get. Maybe it's upcoming year, maybe we'll see it. But now relying on him, compared to we have Zay, we have Bateman, we have 2 rookie guys. You can go back to, Jaleel Scott when we drafted him. A bigger body guy. Never panned out. And you just go on. Like I said, you just keep on going through these receivers. Was it Benjamin Victor? He was a tall guy at Ohio State, UDFA, made a couple of plays in preseason.
Yeah.
Never turned out to be anything. Like I said.
Did you mention Miles Boykin already?
He's retired. He's retired. By the way, that's like the softest big guy I've ever seen, man. No disrespect. Just didn't have that jump. It wasn't there. And we've been chasing this for tons of years. And it feels like we're that one guy looking for that stock that we're chasing it. And that receiver is our stock. We just have not found him. We're going to keep on going.
Yeah.
I hope we hit. I hope Declan Doyle is, not to cut you off, is that savior. And I've seen what he did last year with the rookie guys. But you got to give guys their targets. Give them shots to gain confidence. And we have not done that in recent years.
Yeah, well, you know what, Alex? I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Declan Doyle, and I know this might not hold true for the Ravens, but Declan Doyle last year when he, hit with the Bears, their target distribution was one of the most even in the league. So I think that they're going to be spreading it around. And when you couple that with what Eric DaCosta said yesterday to the Baltimore radio in an interview where he basically said, this Ravens offense in 2026, you're going to start seeing, more 3 wide receiver sets, 4 wide receiver sets, things like that. You're going to see a lot of receivers on the field. So, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Tez, and either, Jacoby Lane or Elijah Surratt. So let me ask you this. Out of Tez Walker, Jacoby Lane, and Elijah Surratt, which one ideally would you want for the Ravens? Let's just say like set the scene. Ravens are in 11 personnel on 3rd and 7, week 1 against whoever, right? You got to get a score here or else you lose the game, and we got to drive down the field. Of course, you're going to have Zay on the field. You're going to have Bateman on the field. Do you then want Tez, Lane, or Surratt to play that 3rd wide receiver spot?
For me, the jury's still out with Tez and a jump ball. I know we can get in the end zone, but most of them he's been booty, butt naked, wide open. More power to him. More power to him. I love a receiver that can get open. I think I'm going to have to go with him strictly because of NFL experience. But I think by the end of the year, it'll be Jacoby Lane.
You think about the end of the year, it'll be. You just like
I
Jacoby
really
Lane because of the edits, bro. Let's talk about it. You like it because of the
I
edits.
might be working on Jacoby Lane edit. I don't know.
I know you are.
I might be working on it.
Because you told me on Monday about the USC one, and I went back and I watched it. I was like, let me watch this, and that was a tough edit. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very tough edit that they put out for Jacoby Lane, and I know it inspired you. So yeah, I know you're a big can't guard Jack guy. And listen, man, I hope that he pans out and becomes, something, right? But again, I only have worries about him in man coverage and how physical he can be with these guys who play on Sundays and not Saturdays, because there's a difference in the body type. There's a difference in the physicality. There's a difference in, just the skill, right? And the athleticism. So I would love to see it. But I think he's definitely got to put on some more weight for sure. I'll say that.
Good news for you. He has had big games against LSU. I believe against Notre Dame, I want to say, and I think Michigan too. So he's produced against the colleges that put out NFL talent, which to me is a good sign. Playing in that conference, playing against these bigger teams, you want to see that, but it has to translate over the NFL. And I'm just hoping Declan Doyle can get him open. Maybe you don't have to worry about him being separated. Declan Doyle can cause a bunch of maybe miscommunication in the back end, and there's Jacoby Lane, like it says Walker, wide open in the background, in the back of the end zone. So I'm not sure about that, but Surratt he's been intriguing me as more and more. When you brought him up on Monday, just watching him, like I think we have a gem right there. And I don't want to overdo him, but I feel like once again, get him the ball. Don't force him. But I think if he's there and he'll make his he'll with his opportunity, he'll make the most of it. So it just comes down to just development. It really does.
Surratt's gonna be that dude, man. He's gonna be that dude. And the main reason I think so is, because he does it all really. He's like a very well-rounded receiver. You know what I mean? Like really good hands, strong at the catch point, really good route running as well, decent speed, good size. Like I was just talking to Coach in Nitro last night on Quiet Storm. I didn't realize, but Elijah Surratt is 6'2", I want to say. I think he's 6'2" or 6'3", one of the two. Yeah, and that is taller than AJ Brown, right? And for me, like I've been a big guy, like get a big body receiver like AJ Brown. Let's get him in the building. Elijah Surratt, I think, can potentially turn into something like that. I mean, because think about it, like AJ Brown isn't the best separator, right? But he can make physical catches over the middle or wherever you put him. And I think Elijah Surratt can kind of mimic those same sort of qualities, right? And he also just has that wide receiver one look. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Alex, but like he just looks like the type of guy, like he's gonna be like the next like Puka Nacua or somebody. I don't know. I just think because he doesn't win with like crazy speed or anything, like he just wins with skill. Like he's just a good receiver, right?
And going to your point about AJ Brown, I mean, George Pickens, not the best separator. DK Metcalf, guys like that. I mean, that might be the new build of guys, that we're looking for is maybe you can't separate, but you can make every catch possible and you can use your body to win the battles. And we've seen Pickens haunt us. How many times did we have a Brandon Stevens draped over him, Marlon Humphrey draped over him, and this guy just pulls out some crazy witchcraft? I don't know how his body at that big can bend the way it does, catches it, stops, toe drag.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of that. I want the Ravens to have their version of that. Not to say he's going to be those guys, but if he can be 80% of that and still build on and grow from that, I'd be all for it. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. For sure. Let me see. Let me bring us back over here really quick. I wanted to show you something, Alex, just really fast. And this is kind of like impromptu, so bear with me. I'm going to throw this up on the screen here. So I'm hoping everybody can see. You can see, right, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what we're looking at here is a game against the Detroit Lions, Ravens versus Lions from a couple of years ago. This is back last time the Ravens did have Calais Campbell, as I see some of you guys still talking about him in the chat here. Before we move on, I just want to show you guys something. This is what I was talking about earlier with like that 3-4 front, right, with the 3 down linemen right here. You can see Calais Campbell is in the middle, where the arrow is pointing over the center. He's going to be playing nose here. So just imagine, again, Matabike lining up on the top of Calais Campbell where he is here, and then on the bottom of him, Travis Jones, right? And then on the outsides, Trey Hendrickson and Mike Green. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that would worry me in a scenario like this, and we don't even know where Kyle Hamilton would be in this scenario because he's not on the field here. But only thing that would worry me in this scenario is our corners, right? Right here, you can see the corners are kind of played off, and I guess rightfully so because it's going to be empty over the top. You can tell there's going to be no help, but if quarterbacks, the only thing that I could see quarterbacks kind of getting over on the Ravens defense is just getting the ball out extremely quick, right? Extremely quick with like pinpoint accuracy and just kind of dotting us up that way because our corners can't cover for long enough. You know, like just one of those things. Not many quarterbacks are going to be able to do it, but that would be the only thing that I would see with this defense that kind of concerns me. Your cornerback play is going to have to be really, really up to par. I'll say that. And it wasn't last year.
Yeah, I'm going with linebackers as well. I feel like we got beat a lot by tight ends because our linebackers couldn't keep up or even just miscommunication in the middle of the field. I felt like we were just seeing number 0 just hauling his ass trying to tackle a tight end over the middle or even how a receiver. And I think that's where Calais' height and I would love to know his wingspan. Just getting those big arms up. You know, you can't throw those freaking zips over the middle, like going right over the lineman because you're going to have his big ass arms there, hopefully batting it and hopefully falling into the arms of a Raven defender. But I think it allows Mint to just be even that much more creative. And I guess I'll say I love it. Thinking about it now, and if he can just have that same impact he had last year, because 6.5, albeit, like I said, 4 in 2 games, but on that poor of a defense in Arizona, in a limited amount of snaps, is very impressive.
And then when you consider it would have led all Ravens.
Which is that's just so embarrassing. I hate to say it. That's just so embarrassing. And
like,
not
what
to
are
the
we
players,
talking
more
about?
towards the scheme, man. We're just at the end of the bar. At the end of the freaking bar.
Yeah, that's us. That's us. End of the bar fans here over at PRP. We don't know nothing. Right? Although we keep getting proven right, and I think I said it on Monday's episode, Alex, like with this new regime, it feels like I've never felt more seen as a Ravens fan. You know, because I've been actually saying for months now, I was saying it in season. Damn, I wish we had Calais Campbell. Man, we need to bring him back. Why did we let him go? You know what I mean? When we did let him go, I was wondering, like, because he signed for an extremely cheap deal with Arizona or whoever he went to right after he left us, right?
Yep.
And I was thinking to myself, like, did we offer Calais Campbell like $27 and a ham sandwich to come back and he turned that down? Because otherwise, like, why couldn't we pay what these dudes paid? You know, to bring back Calais Campbell, who was just so effective for us, you know, week in and week out, even at his age. Like, it didn't make any sense to me then, doesn't make any sense to me now, but I'm just glad to have him back. But go ahead.
With all due respect, fuck the Dolphins, thinking about it. Fuck the Dolphins. Because I'm thinking back to 2024. We tried to trade for him at the deadline. Remember that. And they said no.
Yeah.
And I think about how we lost that game against the Bills. James Cook broke off a couple of runs against us. Calais would have helped out immensely against the run. So, yeah, F the Dolphins. You know what? They deserve everything they're getting right now in their little rebuild. So I just want to bring that back up. I totally forgot that we tried to trade for him 2 years ago, and we lose our playoff game because one of the reasons is we got beat up over the line, and Josh Allen also was running tush pushes against us, and maybe Calais would have stopped them as well. You know, no, hindsight's 2020, but it definitely would have helped. So yeah, that's weighing in the back of my mind as well. Interesting.
Yeah. One more thing, Alex, we have to cover here on this episode of the show. Again, thank y'all so much for coming through. Please be sure to like this video. I don't know how many likes we're at right now. Can we get a like check really quick,
like
Alex?
75. So we hit that. And now we are at 86.
Bump it up a little bit. Okay. 100. Can we get to 100? Can we get to 100? Please. If you're just now getting in here and you haven't liked the video yet, please go ahead and like the video. And for all my replay gang members, whatever the like counter is at right now, wherever it's at, just give it one more. Just a little bit of love. Give it some love. We appreciate you guys. And again, if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel as you do get daily content here from the Purple Rain podcast. Now, I want to bring this up, Alex. So this came out maybe about an hour before we went live here. Jeff Zarebeck reporting that 9 of the 11 Ravens draft picks have already signed with the team. And the only 2 left to not sign yet are Zion Young and Rayshon Benny. So far, everybody, and what do you think about this, Alex? Because I feel like it doesn't normally happen this fast. Am I tripping on that?
No, you're 100% correct. Some teams haven't even got their first round pick signed. And I know second and third rounders are hard because the second rounders kind of push for more first round money, and third rounders kind of push for second round money. Depends where you're drafted. So Young probably will be the last one unsigned. I think Benny gets done tomorrow. This could all be wrapped up by the next time we do our show, which is huge. Everybody out in the field, mini camp starting soon. I love it. I love how fast we're moving. There's no pussyfooting around. Let's just get to it. Let's get to business and let's get to work. I love it. I'm very, very pleased by this.
Everybody on the same page early. I love that. Love that. What I will say about the second round pick, because I remember this happened last year. I can't remember who exactly it was about. Wasn't it like Shamar Stewart or somebody like that?
He was first round. He was
first
He
round.
wouldn't sign his.
But there were a couple second rounders who were kind of holding out for a little bit. I can't remember exactly who they were, but that was a phenomenon. Real quick, we do have a gifted membership coming here from Tila. Shout out to Tila, one of our moderators here in the chat. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate all of your support and the gifted membership here in the chat. Whoever is the recipient of that membership, please, please, please send a thank you to Tila in the chat. Hopefully you are listening right now. You didn't walk away from your phone. I know a lot of you guys listen on your iPhones and Androids and stuff like that. Anywho, when it comes to these second round, and thank you again, Tila. When it comes to these second round picks, and I guess this is where Zion Young is kind of thinking like, all right, no, I'm gonna try to joust for more money here. If you're Eric DaCosta, who came out in an interview earlier this week and said, it might have been in that Lounge podcast, where he said, like, Zion Young was actually at the very, very top of our day 2 selections, like on our board, right? If you have him touted so high and as like a first round talent, damn near, then just pay him. Just pay him. Pay him like one, because me personally I don't think that the Ravens should have went edge at pick number 45. I don't. And I've been very vocal about that. But don't get cold feet now. Like you mentioned before, let's not pussyfoot now, right? You looked at this guy as like a first round talent, and that's why I don't want to say reach, because they got him for good value. But in terms of like what the Ravens needed to address, they kind of did reach in that regard. You got to pay him now. You got to pay him now. Put your money where your mouth is. And I could be saying all this and it could be a moot point because he might lock up the contract by tomorrow morning. I don't know. But I do think that the Ravens need to go ahead and get that done, or else it's a little bit of a bad look to me.
He took him over a center. What a center go?
Exactly.
What, 7 picks later. So with the way the Ravens it's all 2020, but you could have traded back down a couple picks, got a center, and have more picks. We know the Ravens love their extra picks. But you took this guy because, like you said, you really, really like him. First round talent. Just get him locked up.
Yeah. Let's just do it.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Let's do it.
Let's put our money where our mouth is, Let's get these guys on the field. Let's get these guys on the same page. It's a new year, new us. I mean, like, it's just... What else are we going to do with the cap space? I just don't know. What else are we going to do? I mean, maybe we go out again, like you mentioned. Maybe there is a DJ Reader still in the cards. Maybe there's a Clowney still in the cards. I would love to know how much cap space the Ravens have right now after like the 9 out of the 11 signings. I would love to know that. Maybe what's the guy's name? Brian Raven salary cap.
Yeah. I'm about to check that real quick.
All right, cool. Yeah, maybe he's put out an update or something like that. If he has, send it to me, and I'll bring it up. But yeah, I'd love to know exactly where the Ravens stand in terms of cap space right now. Again, guys, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me see some of these comments here. Total 10 speed says Clowney, please. That's what I was saying earlier.
He hasn't mentioned how much we have left, but guys like Chandler Rivers, a cap of $1 million, Eckley's under $1 million, Adam Randall 979,000, Evan Bernstein is 915,000, which is crazy because I don't think he'll make the team. The last guard we picked in the draft, much like Dellinger last year. Matthew Hibner, cap of $1 million. Cuevas, a cap of $979,000. Surratt, cap of $1.2 million. Ione has a cap this year of $4 million.
Okay. Yeah.
Going through them all.
Okay. Yeah. So we will see. We'll continue to monitor there, or maybe it's what is it called? Spot track,
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
They may have it. They may have it up there. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyway. So yeah, I do like the fact again that they have the majority of them at least have signed these contracts, and again, it feels like this new generation of Ravens. We're just kind of doing everything different, you know.
It's
What? What's up?
updated, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's updated.
All right. Let us know.
Does that say we have 24 million cap?
24 mil? You could do a little shopping with that. You could do some shopping with 24 mil.
I believe. That's how much.
If that's the case, Clowney. Hey, listen, come on back. At this point, D-Hop. And we got a lot of young boys.
So, I don't think Calais has been taken in this. So, with that being said, let's kind of say it's around
19.
I don't know how much is guaranteed.
Ish.
Yeah, if we're just gonna take the 5.5 out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much they're gonna really count. Okay, yeah. So let's say we're around 19 million in cap, which is pretty damn good right now.
Still do some shopping. Could still do some shopping with 19 million for sure. And of course, the Ravens always want to save some for mid-season acquisitions, things like that. They tend to do those sort of things. But no, man, exciting times to be a Ravens fan. That is for sure. And I think that was about all of the news that came out today. Alex, am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think we're seeing a flurry of free agents go down since it doesn't count against the comp pick anymore.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. I know Deebo Samuel's still out there, Jawan Jennings still out there, a lot of good players still out there. Tyreek Hill, that's a big question mark. So it should be interesting where these guys end up.
Should be. When does rookie mini camp start?
I think next week or in 2 weeks.
Next week or 2 weeks?
So maybe, let me check the rookie mini camp.
Yeah, because I definitely want to see our rooks. Want to know when our rookies are getting out there for the first time. Tomorrow, somebody says.
Tomorrow, really?
JR says tomorrow. If it's tomorrow, man, that's lit. On a Friday? It's kind of crazy, but I'll take it. Shoot, I'll take it. I will take it.
Yep, rookie minicamp, May 1st and May 2nd.
There it is. Boom. There it is. So, yeah, listen, that's all the news we have for today, but rookie minicamp starts tomorrow like we led the show with. Never a dull day in Ravens land. Never a dull day here with the Rain Gang on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming through to this episode 402 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Please be sure to leave a like on this video. Did we get to 100? Did we crack 100 before we got out of here? Or are we close? Let me see. Let's see.
Let's refresh.
Let's see. Who's going to be that 100th like?
101.
Oh, there we go. There we go. The 101, man. A little air horn for that. Shout out to y'all, man. Clap it up for y'all. Reaching 100 likes before the stream even ends. But again, thank y'all so much for coming out to this episode. Again, please be sure to subscribe if you're new here. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through to episode 402 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. It's been episode 402 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace.